it's not enough for one man to take care of the entire household. Whereas back in the days, bro, you didn't even need the 25 degrees, bro. 100%. You just needed, you graduate high school, you do these regular, factory jobs, and that was enough to feed the family, a wife and 6 kids, and you was straight with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But not because of the time ever since feminism came in and the new wave or whatever. So like now it's to the point where like you need 2 incomes to
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
To stay afloat. Yeah.
Exactly. But like but what happens when the guy can provide for the family 10 times fold, right? Does working become a necessity for it? So let's say...
No, it's not a necessity.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
ta'ala wa barakatuh. Yo, the flow was so off. We're going to have... No, it's not. Wallahi, it was not Chris, but we need to redo that. It's got to be I know. It got to be a sync. All right, let's get it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala. Yo, you're missing the ta'ala.
Okay.
Let's get. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala. You're doing that. Wallahi, you're doing it on purpose. Wallahi, you're doing it on purpose. I said ta'ala, bro. You keep missing the ta'ala.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala. Wallahi, do it on purpose. Wallahi, do it. Assalamu Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I apologize for the technical. Nah, you're stressing me. Wallahi,
you're 30 seconds in.
I apologize for the technical difficulties, man.
Get right into it.
Yeah, we'll get right into it. Alhamdulillah. So, whoa. We can't just jump right into it, bro.
Oh, I forgot.
We keep forgetting. We got to remind these, because verily reminding benefits the believers, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys subscribe to the subscribe button? No, be honest. It's haram to lie. Have you clicked the subscribe button? Because if you didn't, you already know what we're gonna tell you.
You know what to do.
Pause the video. Go back. Tell your mama, tell your dad, your baby mamas. Yo, hold on. I got a question just on baby mamas.
Yeah.
If you marry somebody, she becomes halal, obviously, and you have a kid. Is she a mama?
Huh?
This thing is...
Yeah.
Well, let's say you marry somebody, mashallah, hijabi, mashallah, and you have a kid with her.
Yeah.
Does that make her your baby mama? Because technically, she has a baby, and that's the mama, low key.
So that means everybody can call their wives baby mamas too, if you think about it.
Facts.
You feel me? So everybody's... Yo, every sister's a baby mama?
Yo, every sister that has a kid is a baby mama.
Yo, that's it.
Yo, every sister that has a kid is a baby mama, bro.
Wait, but does that make us a baby daddy?
Yeah, dog. Technically, yeah. It makes us a baby daddy, bro.
I'm gonna start using that.
Yo, shout out to all the baby mamas. You know what it is?
Baby daddy.
Round of applause for the baby mamas, baby. Let's go. Yo, that's crazy. I just thought of it just now. Like, yo, that's crazy.
It just hit me right now.
Yo, shout out to the baby mamas, Alright, yo. Speaking of baby mamas, today we got a good topic today, man. We got a good topic. We're going to talk about,
What are we talking about?
Women in the workforce.
Right. And why are we talking about that, first of all? Give them some intro. Give them some context.
I will give them a little bit of context. So the reason why we want to talk about it, right, is, we live in a time in society where, feminism is, the norm.
Actually, his boss was a woman and he got fired.
Man, that's cap. That's not what happened.
He got fired by a lady.
You lying ass nigga. No, I ain't never got fired a day in my life, bro. Actually, low key, my first job was a lady and she fired me from Walmart. It was Walmart.
Walmart. I remember Walmart days. That was That was a woman?
Yeah, it was a woman. She fired me, dog.
Hey.
Shit, that's crazy. That was the only.
That's where it comes from.
No, wallahi, no.
You didn't tell me.
I forgot about that. Wallahi, I forgot about that. That's the only job I got fired from. Every other job, bro, yo, stand-up employee, bro. You know what I'm saying?
This guy asking that. He's the hardest worker in the room. 80 hours.
No, we get it from Allah, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Jobs, 3 baby mamas. Working like he's a single mom. Like, you working now.
You baby mamas working as a single one. Wallahi, you're messed up, bro.
You're a hard worker, for real, man. You gotta give credit where credit is due.
Alhamdulillah. But yeah, so today, you know what I'm saying, we wanted to talk about, the reason why we talk about it is because, like, like in the, especially in the last like 5-10 years, I mean, obviously it's been going on way before, but like, women, we notice, there's a lot of women that work in the workforce, applying for, higher positions, corporations. So we wanted to talk about it like, yo, is it worth it, right? Is it worth it to go above and beyond? Is it worth it to do all, to go that extra mile, to go corporate as a woman? And what type of, how does it benefit you? How does it benefit society? How does it benefit, the family unit, right? So this is something that, we wanted to talk about,
Are we looking at it from an Islamic perspective or like from an overall societal?
Well, obviously Islamic first, because, at the end of the day, our initial identity is that of Islam, right? That's our first identity. 100%. We're Muslim before we're black, we're Muslim before we're African, we're Muslim 100%. Before we're Canadian. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So definitely. Obviously there's gonna be an Islamic spin to it, right? But but we also want to take into consideration the society, because obviously how we live in today is a lot different than how it was back in the days, back in our parents' days,
100%.
back in, you know what I mean? So we wanted to, touch up on it a little bit. So inshallah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Allah. So obviously before we get started, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, why do you keep forgetting, bro?
I mean, bro, rarely the man forgets, you know what I mean?
No. So
people say that money talks.
What do we say?
Rizq talks. Yes, sir. Alhamdulillah. So now we can dive into it. Now we're going to dive into it, but I got to do my dua, you know what I'm saying? I got to get into that dua, bro. 100%. All right, so as you all know, we're going to do the regular dua, dua for halal rizq. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilma nafi'a wa rizqa tayyiba wa amala mutaqabbala. So, oh Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge, goodly provisions, and acceptable deeds. Ameen, thumma ameen. All right, let's get it. All right, so yo, we're gonna start off by, asking you a question. You know what I'm saying?
Go right ahead. So, I am ready.
Do you think, right, like right now, as we speak in today's timing or whatever, would you say that it's a necessity for women to be, working in the workforce right now?
Ooh, you coming in hot.
Got to, man. Got to, bro.
Okay.
Heat check.
All right. That's a loaded question. I'll tell you why. So your question is in today's world, is it a necessity?
Yeah, is it a necessity
for a woman to be in the workforce? I think it's a loaded question. The reason I'll say that is because you can look at it from a different perspective. There's definitely different angles, right? You can look at it from a single mother perspective, right? You can look at it from a woman who's married and from a different perspective where a woman is married with children.
Okay.
Right? I'll take those three angles. Obviously, as a single mom, when you have kids that you need to look after, it's really bigger than you. It's about your kids. It's definitely a necessity. If you don't work, the kids don't eat, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at it from the perspective where a woman is married, right, and has children, then it comes a point where I guess an important question lies, and is working sacrificing the relationship I have with my kids and my duty as a mother and as a wife? Am I sacrificing that for a job, right? And then it becomes weighing priorities. Then it's a game of priorities. Mm-hmm. And obviously, we 100% know, and it's undisputable fact, where your priority lies at the crib with your kids and your husband, right? Okay. Then it's like, especially when the men are the provider, right? and the mom takes this role as a nurturer, right, and taking care of the kids, then it comes a question of like, you know, am I sacrificing time with my kids and time with my husband, right? And I'm out there in the workforce putting in, you know, 40, 80 hours a week, putting overtime, you know, at the expense of my kids.
Okay.
That's an important, you know what I mean?
So now let's say, okay, that's all these are great points that you make, right? But let's say, because you're saying that, you know, the men are the providers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, listen, and that's according to Islam.
Yeah.
And even honestly, I feel like it's in a man's nature to want to provide.
For sure.
Whether you're Muslim or not, right? Whether you're Muslim or not, it's in a man's inner fitra, you know?
Yeah.
Like your inner predisposition
Yeah.
to want to provide for your kids and for the people who you're responsible for. It can be your mom, it could be your family. It's just in your nature. It's not something you can fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I feel like, having said that, in today's world, right, we also live in a world where a lot of men, I've noticed, are talking about, you know, 50-50 splits, right? Which I personally never understood.
Okay. Okay. So now, now these are great points. But now let's say, you know, the man's income.
By the way, sorry to cut you off, but this conversation out here is definitely gonna get us canceled.
Oh, nah, they don't know what's coming up. They actually don't know what's coming.
You're right.
They don't. This is light compared to what. Yeah, this is. They don't. If this gets us, nah. It's like an Andrew Tate type. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but stay tuned.
Stay tuned, bro. But like, okay, so like, let's say, right, the man doesn't have the. Like his sole income is not enough to provide for the family. Because to answer that question,
100%,
in terms of if is it a necessity for women to work in being the workforce, I agree with the initial point in that there's different angles you got to look at. There's the pre-married woman, there's the divorced woman, there's the woman who's married, right? So there's all these that you have to take in consideration, right? It's a case by case, right? You got to check.
It's really case by case. Yeah.
But like, my question was more because, okay, so for me, right now, I would say that, yes, there is a necessity to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Whereas for women, why women should work. And the reason I say that is simply because, like, we're living in a society where everything is up. Like, the prices is up. Inflation, 100%. You know, rent is up. Everything is up, bro. Like, so it's not enough for one man to take care of the entire household. Whereas back in the days, bro, you didn't even need the 25 degrees, bro. 100%. You just needed, you know, you graduate high school, you do these regular, you know, factory jobs, and that was enough to feed the family. A wife and 6 kids, and you know, I mean, you was straight with that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But not because of, you know, the time ever since, you know, feminism came in and the you know, the new wave or whatever. So like now it's to the point where like, yo, you need 2 incomes to
100%,
you know what I'm saying?
To stay afloat, yeah.
Exactly. But like now but what happens when the guy can provide for the family 10 times fold, right? Does working become a necessity for? So let's say
no, it's not a necessity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a necessity.
Yeah, 100%.
If the guy can provide more than, you know, cover obviously everything and some, not a necessity really. Okay. Then it becomes a more matter of, you know, staying occupied.